is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day. Remember when me tell you say I got that day. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a prospero. But the way you put like a papa look. But then the way you me tell you what I look and the what on this amiro. Me tell you what I day. Come with the plan and the rest of man I tell you what I am. Me never give up. Me tell them say
I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, you'll never be apart.
They fought for our freedom, they died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes, we want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now, if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart, forever, 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 and never, and never, and never.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation. We blend in our history, that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back till we get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now? If not you, you died at Mali.
Then we are starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes of our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for me, for the freedom of my unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright. Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes.
flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors. Yeah, you know what it is. We must revenge, and we must stand to represent who we are.
Akara m ihe mbe na-eme mbe si ma achọrọ ofu ukwu ehi ma nke ọzọ mụ achọrọ ihe niile ma ụkwụ ya ma aka ya ma isi ya ma olu ya anyị ga-adọbiri wee pụọ na nke onwe anyị tighata azụ etu anyị nọ tupu ndị ọcha wee bịa ebe a nwa aha obodo ebe a nwe ndị mmadụ n'ime tupu nwa bekee si ebe o si hapụ obodo ya ọ bịa ebe a ọkpọrọ onye nke ọkpọrọ okeke ọkpọrọ okafọ dakata anyị isi ọ sị n'ụbọchị nke taa na anya aha anyị wusi Naijiria anyị na-aza aha na-enweghị omimi n'ime ya ihe ngwa gị gbasị biko kọwara m ihe Naijiria pụtara enwepụghị kọwara m ọmụa ga-aza aha osimiri ka osimiri ga-aza aha mụnwa n'ihi ihe anyị na-ekwuwu na ebe arụgidere ụlọ a na ọ jọgburu onwe ya ọ dịghị mma Naijiria agaghị emekọtanwu ihe ọzọ ihe ọjọọ emego n'obodo a arụ emego egbugo ndị be anyị aka na-egbukwa anyị ndị Fulani wee chere na mabata be anyị ka na-egbukwa ndị be anyị ruo ụtụtụ echi a na-asị m na ọ ga-adị mma oge ọ na-ekwekwu ka nwee mmekọrịta bụ nke ndị nụkọ nke ndị ụmụnne ha egosighị anyị ọtụtụ mgbe ha kpọrọ anyị asị onye ajụrụ ajụ na-ajụ onwe ya ha jụrụ anyị aja ama njụ onwe anyị agbanyeghị na anyị nwe ngwa ahịa n'ugwu Awụsa agbanyeghị na anyị na-azụ ahịa ebe niile dị iche iche na-eme nke ọma kama onye gara ndụ kpakụ onye ire rie n'ihe ọ Ndụbụisi ka anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ka anyị cheghata azụ ebe a ruo obodo anyị ka o wee maa mma wee karịa obodo ndị ọcha na mma ọhịa anyị na-arịọ nwoke na ugwu nwee nkwanye ugwu n'ime onwe anyị ọnwa anyị pụọ n'iro a na-etigbu anyị pụọ n'iro okwu okwu asị ọ bụ gịnị ma anyị ji wee ekwu okwu ụmụ ihe ndị a ka anyị sị na anyị agaghị anabatakwa ya ọzọ.
Akụkọ a kọrọ anyị bụ na ọkụkọ na ewu agaghị nzukọ ụmụ anụmanụ a na-emezi mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ịchụ aja ejiri ọkụkọ maọbụ nwụchụ aja mgbe ọbụla a chọrọ ime ka Naijiria dị n'otu enwe ha na-eto esi wee kpam akpụrụ ndị Igbo ọ pụtara na anyị bụ ọkụkọ maọbụ ka ọ pụtara na anyị agaghị nzukọ mere ya bụ ihe eji eme anyị bụ ndị Igbo ụdị na ọbara ndị Igbo ahụ kpafu n'obodo Naijiria gaja
ọ bụ site na akpọmasị ihe na-eme anyị dị ka ihe mere ndị ji oge mgbe gara aga etu akụ ka mba niile dị iche iche ji kpọọ ụmụ Izrel asị a na-egbu ha afọ niile aka na-egbu ha o wee ruo oge ugbu anyị asị na ogbugbu a na-egbu anyị na ọ dịghị anyị mma ọ ka mma na onwe ihe kegbuo anyị wu nwere onwe njem a nke anyị na-aga kama na na-esi etete n'ụtụtụ asị na onwe onye gburu ebe a onwe ha na-ekwu okwu odo na onye onye n'aka ụkọchukwu n'ugwu Awụsa ebepụ isi ọnwụghị ofu ugboro ọnwụghị ugboro abụọ ọnwụghị ugboro atọ ọnwụghị ugboro anọ ọ bụ ruo ole mgbe ka a ga-egbugide anyị wee rue anyị asị mba na anyị ga-aga ka anyị nwee ike wee nwere onwe anyị ọ ka mma na anyị nwụrụ ebe anyị na-azọ nwere onwe tụbụ na anyị nọ n'ụlọ etu a mmadụ ibe mabata n'ime ụlọ mbịa bupụ m isi a sị na-achọghị ụdị nka ọ bụghị anyị maka a ga-eji wee chụọ àjà ọzọ
onye si na ya ga-ata anyị ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fe arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị iwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị konye ka ọ gaa ubi ga arụ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụ anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra ebe ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm jiri ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị agaghị isi n'egwu ndị iro anyị n'anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe detuo ozu
ọgbọgọ wa mmemi na Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo mmemi na Fero site otu a mee ka Fero gbagụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebite onwe eji akọkọ igiri ọtọ ọsọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekele n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na nọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were nyere anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe egosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu nke abịa ma
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this evening section of our program. I welcome every one of you that has connected to the program, wherever you're connecting from. Please like and share the program. Like and share to family and friends, share to your neighbors, share to those that are close to you. On this very evening program, it is going to be a very quick one. I'm not going to take much of your time. Remember, it is a very busy day as the civil disobedience of Biafran people sit at home is still observed today. So many Biafrans on their own observe the sit at home today. So just as our Supreme Amazing can have said, that if you want to observe it on your own, it is at your own will. Nobody's going to force you. A message that was delivered by the Liberation Army through Simon Epa. Liberation Army, the Mazin Nanka, the Central Liberation Army was delivered, and they said anyone that is still willing and ready to continue to see that can continue. And today you can see that many people participated, which I have shared the update of my morning program. And hopefully maybe this evening we are still going to get some updates. So, my fellow Biafrans, we must continue to pursue our freedom, regardless what anybody says. Don't allow their propaganda to make you walk away from something that is right. As I said in the morning, Mazin Nandekano has made a lot of sacrifice that it demands appreciation. Mazin Samuel also have made sacrifice that demands appreciation. And how are we going to show appreciation to our leaders for the wonderful work they have done for us in this course, in this journey? The only way we can show appreciation is by remembering them in everything we do, giving them their due respect, making sure that their legacy is not forgotten. You know that one of the important achievements of the sit at home is make sure that the plight of the Biafrans in the front line, and to make sure that the case of Mazen Nandekano is not swept under the carpet. As we speak, Mazen Nandi Okukano is still in Sokoto prison. He is still in Sokoto prison. If anybody is trying to tell you that he's out, he's this, he's that, no, he's not out. And if anybody tells you that Mazen Nandekano is enjoying in Sokoto prison, it is a lie. There is no way Mazen Nandekano will be comfortable and happy in the midst of the enemies, the caliphate. Some of you don't know what Sokoto represents. Sokoto represents everything that is wrong with Nigeria. Sokoto represents everything that Mazen Nandekano preached against. And for him to be in that caliphate, you should know that Mazen Nandekano is not comfortable, not safe in that very place. So even if you want to show appreciation, this is the time. The effort of Mazen Nandekano is commendable. The effort of Mazen Simon is commendable. How are we going to commend them for what they have done? It is by making sure that their legacy is not forgotten. I don't care what you believe. I don't care the group you belong. I don't care who you are working for. I do not care your own opinion, your religion, or location. What I care about is our collective effort and request, our collective purpose, the pursuit of Biafra. No matter what anybody is saying, how they say it, what you believe, you must always remember that we have a collective interest, which is Biafra, and that interest must be protected. That interest must be protected. Do not allow anybody to deceive you. Do not allow anybody to blackmail you. It is needful that every one of us put our heads together and fight this battle until it is won. As I speak, the Biafran people, we are doing very well in all our groups, in all our sections, in everything we are doing. The only thing we have to do is to continue to hold on to that thing that we know already is working. What we are doing is working, and the enemies are very, very afraid of the success we have made so far. If anybody tells you that we have not made success, that person is lying to you. The Biafran people have made great success and continue to make success every single day. So the only thing you have to do is to tighten up your belt. Whatever you have been doing that have brought us this far, double it. Double it. Remember, in one of the messages of Master Simon Ekpa, he spoke about a time when this struggle will be in autopilot. That time has come. The time that Master Simon Ekpa spoke about has come. And that is why it is important that any place you are in this struggle today and you have conviction, please stay there. Stay there and make your contribution to the actualization of Biafra. Wherever you are and you have conviction, do not allow anybody to talk you down or to deceive you. Continue to be on that very place. From every indication, it is a thing of joy to see that the Biafran people know what they want. That is my greatest joy. The Biafran people, they know what they want. It made our job easy on the media. We don't need to talk too much. We don't need to be shouting from one corner to the other. We don't need to be making much of noise because the truth cannot be hidden. Today, this evening, we are talking about the sit at home. You see the title actually says, Sit at Home Shockwave. Is Nigeria ignoring the warning sign? A question. Is Nigeria ignoring the warning sign, even with the shockwave of the sit at home? Is Nigeria still ignoring the warning sign? They can ignore it for all I care, but I bet you they cannot run away from what is coming. They can never escape it. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is directing the affairs of the Biafran people, and I bet you we are going to get our destination. Do not allow anybody to deceive you. At this point in time, if you have not defined Biafra for yourself, you are going to be a victim. That is why, for a very long time, I have been preaching of people defining Biafra for themselves, so that they can make a decision without anybody influencing them. When you define Biafra for yourself, you cannot accuse anybody of deceiving you. And you can't allow anybody to deceive you. But when you do not have a definition of Biafra for yourself, by yourself, you will always look for someone to blame for your failure. You will always look for somebody to push you before you do a thing. But I'm happy that many Biafrans today have defined Biafra for themselves and they know what they want. That is why you see people working hard on different areas, making differences. Just when you think all hope is lost, you will see people rising from all corners, from the angles you never imagined, and they are making difference. And I bet you this will continue until Biafra is achieved. If you are one of those who think that Biafra is possible, sorry to disappoint you. With or without you, Biafra is going to come. If you think you are too important, that without you nothing will be done, sorry to disappoint you. Chukwu Okike Abiyama himself is in charge of the affair of the Biafran people. And he's going to make everything work out for our own good, just as he has been doing. So I urge every one of you that have joined us on this program this very evening, please continue to stand your ground. That thing you know that you are doing that is working, continue to do it. We have done a great lot. We have done a whole lot. And even up till now, Biafrans are still doing wonderful things. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud and happy to be a Biafran. No matter the challenges we have, no matter the obstacles we have, no matter the propaganda, the blackmail from right center, no matter the little resources we have, no matter the fact that we are on our own defending ourselves, we will never give up. We will never give up. So, my fellow Biafrans, I urge every one of you to continue to be strong. Continue to stand your ground. Do not allow anybody to deceive you. Do not allow anybody to undermine you. If you know what is good in the course of this journey, please do it. Don't wait for somebody to praise you. Don't wait for somebody to praise you. Do not wait for anybody to give you a title. Don't wait for anybody to pay you. Everything we are doing is for ourselves, is for our future, is for our generation unborn. And every single thing we are doing is yielding fruit. My fellow Biafrans, there is no sacrifice you made in this cause that is in vain. There is no sacrifice that you make that is in vain. That is why I appreciate, more especially people that are in Biafra land. I give my highest regard to people in Biafra land. You are in the front line taking the bullet for all of us. You are in the front line taking the bullet for all of us. But no matter how, no matter their plans, no matter the intimidations attack, we will continue to do what we have to do to make sure that our voice is heard. And we will never back down. So many of us have seen so many things that is happening every day from all corners and all angles. So many lies and blackmail against us. But in the midst of all those blackmail and lies, Biafran people are still standing. Because Chukwu Okike Abiyama is with us. The jealousy and hatred against us is not because we committed a crime. The jealousy and hatred against us is not because we did something bad. They hate us because we have refused to back down. They hate us because we have refused to back down. They hate us because of our good work. They hate us because we are blessed. The hatred upon the Biafran people is not for any, it's not because we committed a crime, not because we did anything wrong, not because we committed any crime, but because we are hardworking. Our success is the envy of the entire world. The world cannot imagine why these people are still standing. Even after everything has been taken away from them, why are they still standing? The world cannot imagine. Why are they still making impact? Even after all the conditions they were placing, why are they still surviving? Why? That is the question the world is asking. And they can't understand why. The jealousy against us today is not because we committed a crime. And we cannot walk away from whom we are in order to please anybody. That is why I say some of us who are running away from their identity just to be accepted by some idiots, you should be ashamed of yourself. If you are one of those running away from your own identity just because you want to please a certain group of people, you should be very ashamed of yourself. Because we have passed this stage. The stage that Biafra is now is a stage that everyone has to take responsibility. It's a stage that everyone has to do what they are supposed to do. That is the stage we are today. And if you fail to do that, you should be ashamed of yourself. Mazen Nnamdi spoke of this time when he was with us. Mazen Nnamdi say it's a time that you have to endure. A time your mental capacity has to be tested. A time that requires people who were born for this mission. We have arrived at that time. We have arrived at that time. Master Simon also spoke about this time. When he said that the seat at home was used to prepare you for what is coming ahead. And I've thanked Chukwu, people learned that preparation. And today, without anybody asking them to sit at home, without anybody enforcing, people are making the decisions for themselves. And the whole world is keeping record. The entire world is keeping record. And that shows and confirms that we know what we want. That is a confirmation that we know what we want. It is no longer a thing of a guesswork, whether Biafrans want to go or they don't want to go, whether Biafrans are ready or not ready. It is very clear that the Biafrans are more than ready to go home. And wherever you are watching this program from, if you are a Biafran, you should be proud of yourself. If you are genuinely in this struggle, if you are still standing till now, one thing you cannot do is to tell yourself a lie. If you are genuine, you know. If I am genuine, I know. If I am not genuine, I know. Likewise, you, if you are not genuine, you know. We can't lie to ourselves. The worst thing any man can do is to lie to him or herself. So when your heart convinces you that you are genuine, genuinely pursuing the cause of Biafra, please continue. It is not going to be rosy. They will call you names. Your own best friend will call you names. They will call you a saboteur. Even the Biafran people you are fighting for, speaking on their behalf, will curse you, insult you. They did that to Mazen Nandekan. They did that to Mazen Simon Ekpa. So what about you? In this time that we are in, they will do more. There is no kind of name they will not. They won't even listen to you. But this is the time you have to show that truly you are ready to make that sacrifice. This is the time you will show that you can give anything for freedom. There is no sacrifice that is too much to pay for freedom. No amount of sacrifice is too much. There's nothing you say, oh, this is too much, I can't do it. No, no, no. There is nothing that is too much to offer for the freedom of the Biafran people. And I'm happy that the Biafran people from all walks of life are doing what they have to do. I'm grateful that the Biafran people, against all the propaganda and all the blackmail, they are still sitting at home. I am happy that today, every Biafran is operating on his own, on autopilot, doing what they are supposed to do, not because somebody directed them. Because one of the charges they are having against our leaders is instigation. How can you still be saying that Mazi Simon Ekpa instigated the Biafran people when after 2 years of his absence, they are still doing what they have to do? They are still pushing. You claim Mazen Nandekan instigated the Biafran people. Mazen Nandekan have been out of the picture for more than 5 years. And the Biafran quest has gathered more momentum than ever. So, how dare you blame Mazen Nandekan for the situation in Nigeria? Our leaders have been vindicated over and over again. And Chukwu Okukabia will continue to vindicate them. Every one of us, wherever you are, I urge you to continue to pray for our Supreme Leader Mazi Nandekan and also our Prime Minister Mazi Simon, wherever they may be. You know that very soon, Mazi Simon Ekpa is going to be in the court on the 5th of August. So on that 5th of August, you are required to come to Finland in solidarity with our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Wherever you are, book your flights now, book it early so that you wouldn't have an excuse, so that it can be more cheaper for you. We want to have a full house on that day. We want the court to be flooded with the Biafran people for them to know that our Prime Minister is not alone. We want them to know that our Prime Minister wasn't fighting for himself. He was fighting for Biafra. It is very important that we make it known that we stand with the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. So, my fellow Biafrans, as many as have made it a point of duty to continue to show solidarity to Mazi Simon Ekpa, may Chukwu Okukabia continue to guide and protect you. As many as made it a point of duty to continue to show solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Okukano every Monday, may Chukwu Okukabia guide and protect you. No amount of sacrifice is too much to make for these people who has put in everything in their life. They put everything on the line. They did not hold back anything. Mazi Nandekan did not hold back his parents, the life of his parents. He didn't hold back his own family. He didn't hold back his career. He didn't even hold back his own life. He put everything in the line. Likewise, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa did not hold back his career. He did not hold back his own life. He put himself on front line. And two of them today are in detention because of you, because of me. The least we can do is to keep their legacy alive. That is the least we can do, to keep their legacy. No matter the challenges, no matter the blackmail, no matter the propaganda, we must keep their legacy alive. Nobody's going to force you. That is why I bet you the message of the Liberation Army from Mazin Nandekam, the message Mazin Nandekam delivered to Liberation Army was a very wonderful one, and I was happy. That message came at the right time. Because the plan of the enemy, the plan of Seibo was to blackmail the struggle. But after that very announcement, you see that his plan failed. His plan failed completely. His false flag operation that he was planning a false flag to attack the Biafrans and target on the Liberation Army. If the Liberation Army did not make that announcement, by now you'll be hearing a different thing. Today, you will see people that will go out to go and enforce it at home. If not for that very broadcast they made, today you would have seen people that come out with the gun and they will tell you, oh, we are Liberation Army. Oh, we are Simon Eber boys. But that statement they made destroyed the plan of the Janjaweed. That very broadcast they made destroyed the plan of Seibo. And today Seibo is in confusion. All his plan destroyed. Biafrans doing what they are supposed to do. My fellow Biafrans, more especially people in Biafra land, I appreciate every single one of you. Both those who sat and those who did not sit at all. Every one of us have chosen a way to express our anger over the illegal detention of Mazin Nandekan, the illegal conviction of Mazin Nandekan without a written law. We continue to show the world that Nigeria has lost legitimacy in Biafran territory. And we will continue to show the world that Nigeria has lost legitimacy. It doesn't matter the language they come with. It doesn't matter the propaganda they bring. It does not matter under which umbrella they operate. We shall overcome them. And I want you to remember, this is not the time to promote yourself. This is not the time to focus on group and sections. Remember the unity of purpose. The unity of purpose. Don't be an agent of the Janjaweed unknowingly by neutralizing the effort of other people. Every single effort every group is making is counting. Every group, whatever effort you are making is counting. The most important is that don't make yourself a judge for another person. Don't make yourself a judge because you're not qualified. No, there's no that is why you must not be a judge. That place you believe that your own is the right one. Focus and do what is right. In a very short while, Mazi Simon Eber is going to join us. In a very short while, Mazi Nnamdi Ogukano is going to join us. By then, every of your worries will be solved. At least we have had them openly. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it. I support every group. I appreciate every group. Both the ones I know their name and the ones I didn't know their name. There are too many to number. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu appreciate every single one of us, whatever we are doing. Likewise, Mazi Simon Eber, he appreciates everybody. He thanks everybody. And he encouraged every one of us to continue to do what we are doing. Is it we that are outside and are going to divide? Why will it be you and I that will cause the division when our leaders have said we should work together? Why are you going to make yourself an agent of division when your leaders have said, I work with everybody? You see why I tell you, don't be a judge. because you're not qualified to be the judge. If you know what you think is good, do it. If there is somebody that is doing something that's right, forget about the spirit of Biafra will fight, not you. There is no point calling your brother or your sister names. You on your camera. Instead of you to face the ginger weed that is holding us down, expose the historical with you on your camera to tarnish the image of your brother. When you are tarnishing the image of your brother or your sister, you are doing that to yourself. Mgbe ị na-akpọ nwanne gị onye ohi, gị nwa na onwe gị, ị na-agwa ha nwanne onye ohi ka ị bụ. Mgbe ọbụla ị mepụrụ ọnụ na-akpọ nwanne gị nwoke, nwanne gị nwaanyị onye ohi, gị nwa nwanne onye ohi. Ị ọnụ kamera na-akpọ ife ị na-agwa ụwa niile ya nwanne gị onye ohi. Mgbe ị na-akpọ your fellow Biafran a terrorist, ife ị na-akpọ onwe gị nwanne terrorist ka ị bụ. And if you are one that in with the capability to become a terrorist also. In with the capability to be new because one no you oh for Abraham na bani moon. Obana one negu no he bro no hita echi mo ki wo. Obana one negu a terrorist, he bro terrorist they want echi mo ki. That is why you don't come to public to vomit nonsense. You don't come to public to vomit nonsense. We know there are some people who are misbehaving. We know that there are some people who are acting in a way that is abnormal. We know all that, but washing your dirty needle in the public is not the best, and will never be the best. Not the best. Every one of us should continue to make our demand. In any way you can continue to make your demand. Unconditional release of Mazen Nandekano and every political prisoner. Nigerian government to recognize Biafran self-referendum, which was conducted by Prime Minister Mazi Samoneba. Nigerian government should remove all their forces from Biafran territory. If they don't recognize a referendum, they should conduct their own. And let us see what the result will be. Continue to demand for self-determination. It is our right. It is your right. Nobody can take away that right from you. Every day when you go to their media, you see the evil in Nigeria, that Nigeria is irredeemable. Today we are still going to go in their media to play the videos that we see from their media reports. We are going to go there so that when you listen to their media, you will equally confirm everything we are saying. You know, some people, when they come, they say, because we are talking on social media, people don't regard what we say. Some think, oh, we are noisemakers. Because we are speaking on social media, people don't take us serious. But whether you take us serious or not, it doesn't really matter. Time shall tell. When the time comes, you will realize and you will remember that, yes, they said it. That we said it, even though you didn't believe us. At least you will remember that we said it. Today, today you used to hear it. You hear many reports, they will tell you, oh, Mazen Nandekan was right. You go to the conventional media, you see people confessing, oh, Mazen Nandekan was right. He said it. They will say, yes, he said it. And that is why we go to the conventional media to watch them. When they speak lies, we confront them and expose them. And when they expose themselves, we notify the world to take points. I want us to listen to today's news that is coming from the Zoological Republic. We are going to comment on some issues and then we'll move on. Let us listen to what they have to say today in this Rise report. We will continue to follow them bomber to bomber, and there's no going back.
Assembly tightens grip on public finances amid 2027 election funding debate. Tensions over public finance has deepened as lawmakers scrutinized INEC's 873.78 billion naira proposal for 2027 general elections, recommending sanctions against non-compliant agencies while questioning delays in Treasury fund releases by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amupiton, who presented the proposal before a joint committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on electoral matters, clarified that the 873.78 billion naira required for the 2027 polls is separate from the Commission's 2026 budget proposal. For 2026, INEC plans to spend 171 billion naira on
for nothing,
elections, including the conduct
they will
of
spend the money
elections
and do nothing.
elections. Moving on, the lingering crisis over leadership and governance at the local government level in Osun State is taking its toll on workers and pensioners. Many of the communities are also sinking deeper into poverty and neglect. Since March 2025, more than 130 billion naira statutory allocations due to the 30 local government areas in the state have been held back, trapped in bank vaults due to political power play. Even worse, the crisis is increasingly deepening political tension and degenerating into violence and loss of lives. Away from Osun, former Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai is facing backlash over his claim that the phone of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, was bombed.
Yes.
Aides of the president and politicians, including former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, as well as legal practitioners and security experts, are calling for El-Rufai's probe over the claim, arguing that his confession on national television was sufficient grounds for prosecution. But the former governor has gone further to ask the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, to clarify reports that the NSA's office imported thallium sulfate, a very dangerous toxin.
This is the major point I want you to, that National Security Advisor imported a very dangerous substance to Nigeria. A substance that can be used for nuclear attack. Something that can be called a chemical weapon was imported by this idiot. Where are they going to use it? This is where Biafra has to be very careful. The United Nations have to pay attention, and the US have to pay attention. Where is this man planning to use that substance he imported? You know, that is how they expose themselves. El-Rufai today is opening mouths, talking blah, 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 because he is now indicted. His ass is on fire, and he is singing from all corners. If not for this very arrest of El-Rufai invitation, he would have not told us what is happening. Nobody will know that this man, NSA, National Security Advisor, imported a chemical weapon into Nigeria. You are just knowing it now. The question is, where are they going to use it? We need to watch out. Any such in Biafra, watch out for any such in Biafra. You know, when they bring this in, they test it in Biafra land. When they brought that Tokana jet, with all the restrictions, they still use the Tokana jet in Biafra land. Turkey supplied them ammunition. They use it in Biafra land. Where are they planning to use this chemical substance that El-Rufai exposed? Of course, it's not about bandits or terrorists, because they are not fighting bandits. They are not fighting terrorists. It is very clear that Nigerian government is not fighting terrorists. They are not fighting bandits. So where do they intend to use this substance that he imported? I want every Biafran to be very careful and pay attention. Every one of us Biafran must be security conscious. Whether you are living at home or abroad, tell your family to be security conscious. For this strange substance that was brought in by Nigerian government through their NSA, we must pay attention. These people are not tired. They are ready to commit genocide over and over and over again. And this is why we call on the United States to take action as quick as possible. Delay is dangerous. I don't know how many people that need to die before the United States will take a critical action. I don't know how many people are you waiting to die. Haven't we died enough? Millions of Biafrans have lost their lives. Let us listen.
In the letter titled Request for Clarification on the Procurement of Thallium Sulfate, El Rufai raised some questions which he asked Ribadu to respond to. Joining us on Political Brief to discuss these stories is Arise Director of News and Politics Editor Somna Sambo. Good morning. Some very busy weekend of news in Nigeria, and some of them presented this morning. You're most welcome today.
Somna, if you don't mind, let's start.
Good morning, Mario. Good morning, Dr. Abatsi.
Morning.
And of course, Rufai.
If you don't mind, let's start with the new Nasir Rufai story versus New Ribadu. Some people are commenting that, well, the attempt to arrest him at the airport on his return to the country did not follow the process. I think that's easy to understand. But the other issue is that when he now went on prime time with Charles Anyakulu, he said, you know, he almost confessed, or he confessed publicly, that, you know, some people had blocked the NSC's phone, and that he had access to the information, and he made certain allegations. And then confession, of course, is almost like an admission of guilt. To block another person's phone and be reporting publicly is that in itself an offense. So some people have said, nobody should now come and say he's been harassed, having used his own mouth to say he's involved in the blocking of phones. The other issue is the thallium sulfate detoxing, which we had asked for clarification from the NSC. The letter is now in circulation. He himself posted it on Instagram. It's dated 16th January. Now, what do you think should follow now? So that the security situation in Nigeria is not reduced to a personal conflict between a former governor and an incumbent national security advisor. On Oshun, we've argued ad on this platform that, look, it's a very funny situation that under the watch of President Tinubu, who supported the rights of states under federal the principle of federalism, is the one under whose watch now Osun State is being treated badly, and local governments are misused, and people are suffering, and all kinds of allegations about how local government administration in Osun State has been politicized. Then, of course, INEC is asking for 873 billion. Not
Sorry, I don't know why the picture is not showing again.
An outstanding 171 billion for all cycle elections. Total over 1 trillion. Where is that money going to come from? When even the Ministry of Health that was assigned 286 billion in the 2026 budget only got or 2025 budget only got 36 million naira, 36 million, as opposed to over 280 million. So all those issues, will I get the money? Is that not a booby trap already? Where is the money even going to come from? At the time they are saying they will sell assets to raise money and then, you know, do some other creative financial management.
All right. Thank you so much for raising some of these issues. Let's start from the ongoing battle between friends, one in government and one out of government. Nasir El-Rufai and very good friend, the National Security Advisor, and Nuhu Ribadu. I want you to look at it from the perspective.
Yeah, they are friends. They know their secret, both secrets. Let them tell us.
Because Nigeria should be very careful not to allow these people to drive the narrative. These are just, people who are playing politics with governance. I mean, remember when the APC came into government in 2015? Nasir El-Rufai was the arrowhead of the think tank for the Buhari presidency. And of course, they helped to put in place certain things. And of course, you would have seen that, some appointments that were made, which were supposed to have gone towards Bola Tinubu then as APC national leader, as they like to call him, or Nuhu Ribadu, most of those appointments were kicked aside because of the so-called cabal that were under the Buhari presidency with Nasir El-Rufai, people like Mamandara, and a whole lot of them, holding sway, with Issa Funtua and so many of those people. So some of the things that you're seeing are part of those grievances, even from the Tinubu presidency itself. They hit back at Tinubu, denying some of his appointees, pushing him aside, and he was quiet for a whole lot of time. And he licked his wounds quietly until he had the time to actually hit back, and of course he got back to power. The same thing with Nuhu Ribadu. And so you would have seen that all these things, Nigerians should look at it without emotion and face the issues rationally. Now, the things that Nasir El-Rufai revealed actually is quite disturbing. And if I were President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I would start doubting the integrity of Nuhu Ribadu based on the allegation immediately. But then, as NSA, for his phone to be bugged,
yes,
the idea by Nasir El-Rufai is to push the narrative that Ribadu is ineffective. But is Ribadu really ineffective in power? President Tinubu knows best because, for him to have appointed Ribadu NSA, it means he has done his due diligence and all of that. So I want us to look at it from that perspective that El-Rufai is trying to drive a narrative which is very dangerous to the country beyond the politics that they are trying to play. Because that means if our national security advisor's phone is being tapped, a whole lot of sensitive discussions can go out and it could be used against the state.
That's why the terrorists is manipulated everywhere.
Even Nuhu Ribadu himself.
Think it's
So it's a very dangerous narrative. But you'll see that
it is the truth.
Careful and was being skillful with his words, trying to say that that someone else tapped the phone and informed him, not that himself actually tapped the phone. So I would say that the National Assembly needs to come in right now. I know that the APC-led National Assembly is one that, tilts towards the party and all of that right now, instead of the Nigerian people. But in the Sena society, by now, the National Assembly's Committee on National Intelligence should start thinking of putting together a bipartisan committee that will call all these people and listen to them. Because the idea of the National Security Advisor or the Office of the National Security Advisor saying that that Ribadu should submit all his evidence to the DSS, I don't think that may provide a fair hearing. President Tinubu should encourage the National Assembly to set up a bipartisan National Intelligence Committee meeting, whether it's ad hoc, different from the National Intelligence Committee meetings that we have in both chambers now, and sit down and look at this, because these allegations, for example, of the poisonous substance that he is actually bringing to the fore, could actually be likened to what happened to Alexander Litvinenko in the UK, when the Russians kept targeting the oppositions outside the country, and of course, many of them would just go to restaurants to eat, and before you know it, pick up some of these substances, and before you know it, they are dead after some time, or so on. So the opposition leaders, if
we should be worried.
That's what El-Rufai is saying.
Mazin Nandekano is in their hand. We should also be worried so they don't poison him. This is a very massive revelation.
And so I would think that if this National Intelligence Committee, an ad hoc one or a different one is set up, it could help to calm frayed nerves, and then of course,
they
because
brought in chemical
members of other political parties, it could help to shield APC away from this dangerous, very, very dangerous.
It is God that exposed them.
That's what El-Rufai is trying to bring. Well, does
God exposed them.
have the sympathy of many Nigerians? I can tell you that many Nigerians don't have sympathy for him, because he's part of those who actually brought some of these issues.
He
when
is.
they are in power, they were enjoying
Yes.
the opportunities of power, hitting hard at opposition in his home state. I would have seen someone like Senator Shehu providing very clear and raw evidences. So please, Nigeria should not treat these issues from an emotional perspective. Everybody is a suspect, from President Tinubu to the National Security Advisor to Nasir El-Rufai that's raising the allegation.
They are all terrorists.
All opposition leaders who claim to have this information, everybody should subject him or herself, because this is a threat against the Nigerian people. And so, let's be careful too. Let's look at this man called Nasir El-Rufai and be careful to ask him not to play politics that would destroy Nigeria. Because Nigeria is bigger than himself. Nigeria is bigger than the African Democratic Congress or the group of opposition leaders, including the governing governing All Progressives Congress. This nation must be taken with, a whole lot of trust by the political elite. This is not good. We have not heard this kind of narratives before. And so please, the dangerous precedent that Nasser El-Rufai is setting
is a truth that people are hiding. He has revealed it.
Are found to be false. I think the law should actually take its course, irrespective of the alleged victimization that he's claiming. Now, let's look at some of the issues that have been raised too. The issues of funds in the National Assembly. Actually, these are very dangerous times that we are in. Lawmakers are asking this very simple question, but which the Tinubu presidency hasn't really answered. Where is the money? Because MDAs are complaining that some of them got 5%. In fact, some even got 1% of funding for capital budget. And yet, we heard the president saying that we have surpassed our target. The president said we surpassed our target of 40.8 trillion naira thereabout, only for the Minister of Finance to come and tell us, what they do, that we had only realized about 10 trillion. Now the customs, the FIRS, that keep telling us that we've already gone above. Where is the money? Because now, if this money is not available to fund INEC on time, and I can tell you that we've already started missing those deadlines, there'll be a problem. 873 billion. The National Assembly should actually question that budget very well. Because these issues actually have to do with over expenditure. In the last election, we spent about 3,800 naira per one voter in Nigeria. That's about 93 million voters. So if you now look at the budget that INEC has presented, because that budget then was about 300 and something billion naira, to which they got about 313 billion released to them. Now, if you now put this together, you will see that that amount has quadrupled. And so the cost of election is becoming too much. And then you discover that it is very clear that the National Assembly is not doing its job. Because if both houses of the National Assembly are doing their job, they will scrutinize the INEC budget. Look at the IRF that we're talking about, spending 200 billion. Are we not supposed to be updating the softwares and all of that? How come we are spending so much for a technology that we used in 2023? So they should take a look at this INEC budget very, very clearly, and then see some other additions. Like the NYC, they are saying that their ad hoc staff that should be brought in place should have an increase in the amount, I think about 120,000 per ad hoc staff that's used, that's each core member. The National Assembly should scrutinize this document very well, and then look at the issues that we have with our budgeting system. For example, why is INEC on the envelope system rather than the performance-based system? Shouldn't INEC have all its money? Because if you look at Section 3, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act, what the Electoral Act actually says is that INEC should be given all its monies at once. But it looks like they have been given the envelope system, where they're asking about 170-something billion for their own internal operations, and the Ministry of Finance is saying that they are going to give them 140 billion. With the crucial role INEC plays, shouldn't the National Assembly be questioning why the executive is reducing the budget of INEC? Because that is an executive interference. And then, on the last note, the issues of funding of Oshun and all of that, honestly, it's a very sad development that President Tinubu's government will still be going through this. But I think we have information that the presidency is trying to see how to wade into it. And I'm hopeful that the president will not treat this as an opposition state, but he will treat it as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where a component part of the federation, Osun State, is being denied its funds that are supposed to help to run and provide services for that state. And Mr. President knows that this particular state is very dear and critical to him, considering his lineage and all of that. And so there is no reason why Governor Ademola Adeleke should be suffering this, considering that President Tinubu himself has suffered that in the past. The APC-led federal government should be very careful not to repeat the mistakes that was done by the PDP. And I can tell you that the APC has done very well for itself as a political party.
These people are all criminal. You will point out fault. At the end of the day, you end up supporting the same evil you are speaking against. That is how we expose their shame. The most important takeaway here is that NSA Ribadu have brought in chemical weapon in Nigeria. They brought in a substance. We don't know what they're going to use it for. Remember, Mazen Nandekano is still in their detention. Mazen Nandekano is still in Sokoto. We should be watchful. And the family of Mazen Nandekano should be much more watchful now than ever. These people have brought in a chemical weapon. We don't know where they want to apply it. We don't know where they want to use it. We don't know who they want to use it on. Because it can't be the bandits because they are not fighting bandits. It cannot be terrorists. They are not fighting terrorists. Biafran people should be very careful. They have used all manner of tactics in Biafran land. And they are ready to commit genocide against the Biafrans anytime, any day. This revelation by El Rufai should not be swept under carpet. Every one of us must be security conscious if you are in Biafra land. And in the case of Mazen Nandekano, the international community should weigh in. Ask Rebadu, what do you want to do with the chemical weapon you brought? What do you want to bring with that chemical you brought in? You see this man mentioning that they can use it on opposition and political parties and all that. They can put it in your food and you eat and that. They won't use it on political opponents. We have our supreme leader in their net, and we are concerned. This country is a terrorist country. There is nothing you can't remove them from that. The more you try to defend them, the more you give you reason to see them as a terrorist country. Every one of us should continue to add their voice and speak. We don't want anything to happen to us, Mazen Nandekano. We do not want anything to happen to him. So we will go to another program. We will go to another program that was conducted also in one of their conventional media also. You know, we are following them closely. We are following them closely to know the plans they have. We are following them closely and we will be reporting. Anyone will see, we will report it. We cannot allow them to go away. So I want us to pay attention to this very one. Let us hear the update they have on this very one.
Policy analyst joins the conversation eventually. But let's start off with Vice President. Good morning.
Good morning, Mosington, and how was your weekend?
Now let's get to this statements made. A few other statements have been made by Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and you do recall that this came up just after he was accosted at the airport, but was basically resisted arrest at the airport when he came in for Cairo agent. Now, this statement of wiretapping the NSA's phone and eavesdropping on information, how grave is it, and what are the implications?
If you ask me, the onus is on the National Security Advisor to determine who was tapping his phone. Remember, El-Rufai said he got to tap information from a third party. It was not the one that did it. The question is, for you to do that, it was very close to the person. That means the National Security Advisor needs to take himself. It's not enough for you to say you want to arrest El-Rufai, you want to prove, you want to know. When you are doing this type of thing, you must have your facts intact. Because this is not the first time we are hearing such infractions from the NSA. Remember at the time, the road car was stolen. Is that not true? Another thing that can happen. And this NSA, you remember the people that were armed in Bala? They said that they were giving logistics by the National Security Advisor. And these are terrorists. So when you look at all these that is surrounding the National Security Advisor, then you can conclude that.
Does that justify eavesdropping on such on the National Security Advisor's phone number. If that phone call, if that is happening, then how secure can we say the nation is? Especially when it comes to, making decisions and executing issues. How secure can we say we are?
Every fact is leveraging on the information available to you. In fact,
is this even legal? Is it legal? Is it legal to wiretap someone's calls?
If it is not
without authorization from the courts and all that.
Mr. Moses, if it is not legal for government to drop on the citizen's phone call, then how is it not legal with what you're telling me here?
No, I'm asking you the question.
That means it is not. Both ways it's not.
So if it's not legal, why do you then sound like it's the office of the National Security Advisor that should prove whether statements were made or not?
It means that a lot of information has been going out, even
absolutely
that That place is not tidied up. That office. I remember when
you made a terrorist NSC.
He's not qualified for that job. He's not qualified. The needed experience is not there. So for this type of thing to be happening, that means Nurubani need to check himself. He was just a police officer, and that office needed an experienced military man who have gone through through the ladder and all that, so that this type of thing should be taken care of.
Very true. The hoopla out there is about what El-Rufai did. What El-Rufai did not do. If you look at people that have engaged in this conversation, the special assistant, the spokesperson to President Bayo Nonoga, ambassador designate, Mokri, civil society organizations, everybody is saying, oh, we need to probe El-Rufai, we need to probe El-Rufai. But nobody has considered the fact, the security implication of the phone conversations of our national security advisor in act. So does it look like there are two questions here? Does it look like it's all embedded within the region of politics, or the fact that I'd like for you to tell us the implication of being able to hack the phone conversation of our national security advisor? Maybe
you don't know the implication. You're asking that.
Also be the reason why we've been unable to, cut out, wrap out this insurgent. If our national security advisor is holding conversation and we have third parties, tapping, tapping this conversation, then how safe are we?
The question is, why did you allow such a thing to happen? How can you blame the rat when you kept the fish in the open? That is the question here. National Security Advisor is a top-notch job. Security advisor. For you to allow such a thing to happen, in fact, in a Senate they should have released the of the job. That's just the truth. You would have released of that job, because that will not even secure them to secure Nigeria. That's not the simple truth.
You don't secure yourself. They secure Nigeria.
We even listen to terrorists and their conversation, that they hear what they know where they are.
Yes.
But because of collateral damage, they will not attack, they will not bomb them. He said,
that's a different ballgame.
So if you can listen to those people, you can listen to another person.
Yes.
The question is for you to do what? House cleaning. Seriously speaking, everyone in other countries, they will see him as a very intelligent man. For you to have done that, they won't even hit him hard.
Okay, that's your position as an individual, not the position of the law.
Yes, because the law, look, if you wiretap the National Security Advisor's phone number, there are two implications. The implication that you have an insider working to review what government is doing and all that. And then two, the National Security Advisor is not even secured enough to secure Nigeria. These are two issues.
Is there any part in Nigerian law that speaks to tapping people's conversation, data privacy, eavesdropping on people? Is there
illegal.
Is there any law?
I said there's no law that says you must, except on
that says you should not.
Hold on.
Office of the National Security Advisor, the EFCC, and the such agencies can tap into individuals' conversation.
Especially to prevent national calamity, like these school bloggers. Most of them, they had their discussions and all that. That's why they were able to run them up.
Great. Now, what if the reverse is the case? An individual, a non-state actor, as it were, taps into government, resources, taps into phone call of government officials, not just the National Security Advisor now, government officials, and maybe EFCC or DSS officials and the rest of them. What does Nigerian law say in terms of how that person should be, treated?
Good. It depends on what you make of the information you gather from front to attack as an individual. It depends on the information you gather and what news you put into. Yes, that is where the problem comes. If you did it maybe for your own interest or for your own protection, but there's nothing wrong there. Rather, government will have a hard time trying to defend themselves.
Barrister, I got the information. I read it somewhere that even the government, if it is illegal on the part of the government, to wiretap somebody and all of that, but then it has to be based on a court order. Is that correct?
No, government will not wait for court order.
Is it based on the court order?
Yes, government has court will say so, but court knows that it is invading a citizen's privacy. No law will allow you to do. That's why they do it secretly. For example, there was this story that some people were trying to murder with somewhere with an Israeli man, and then the agency got information through listening to their conversation. That was how they were able to prevent such a calamity. Because the other man who was fingered is now on the run, nobody knows where he is. But they got that information through phone discussion.
Okay.
Then through phone discussion. And we discussed it, I think, in the other program.
All right.
Okay. Barrister, in this case, practically speaking, from a legal standpoint, who has the legal standing to challenge this? Is it the person who was allegedly tapped, whose lines were allegedly tapped, or the state?
It's in both ways. The government can challenge it. If you are putting it into wrong use that will endanger public safety and the government, then too, the individual can equally do that if you are sure of what the information have.
All right.
So both ways can challenge it, depending on what you make the use to put into. Like this toxic substance they want to import into Nigeria. Of course.
That's an allegation.
Listen, the fact is that yes, something has leaked to the public. Investigate it. Let us know who are you importing that report.
Well, the presidency has written to the DSS to investigate that. So we wait for results of the investigation.
They should go to Poland. And the Polish government will not have
DSS will investigate it themselves.
All right, let's bring in all the guests.
Dear friends, we must have to be careful.
To our Benin House Station, where we have Dr. Bright, another cookup. Dr. Bright, good morning to you. Welcome to the conversation. I do believe you've been following. So tell me, what are your first thoughts when you heard that statement published in the Daily, coming from Malam Nasir El-Rufai, that he wiretapped the NSA's phone conversation until he knew that he was going to be arrested, and then that drama took place at the airport? What were your first thoughts?
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewers. When you were talking, you first of all asked reality from the legal perspective. I'm not a lawyer, so I will do it from the public perspective. First and foremost, I looked at it, every fact, then the National Security Advisor. My first thought was, what has El-Rufai actually done outside that allegation in terms of being able to tap into the phone of the NSA? There must be something underneath. Let's not hide from that. This is Nigeria and the election is coming.
They have done a lot for themselves. They are friends. They know each other very well.
Then, on the other way around, National Security Advisor in a country where insecurity is a major challenge, I begin to wonder if they can tap into his line, the line of the National Security Advisor, to hear his conversation, then what happens to the ordinary man, the ordinary citizen? So, when we are having issues of insecurity, how come those lines are not even tapped into so you can get first-hand information?
Does this give you an impression that
yes,
this might be the reason we have the actions taken by our security agencies to combat insecurity seem to be failing? Do you get that impression?
No. See, look at it. If these things are possible, like Dallas said, you see, you can, there are some offices that, yes, for national security, they can actually do that. But it shouldn't be something that will come up as a public discourse. If actually El-Rufai did it, are they seeking public opinion for him to be prosecuted based on the law? If this is what has been done, then there should be speedy investigation and
Dr. Bright.
whatever the law prescribes should be done.
Dr. Bright.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there's a question I asked Barrister here. I'd like to ask you the same question. What should be more concerning to Nigeria? Is it the fact that El-Rufai was able to listen to the conversation of our national security advisor through a third party, according to him, or the fact, like you mentioned, that someone was able to hack into the phone conversation of our national security advisor? Which one should be more concerning to Nigeria?
The one that should be more concerning is that office, National Security Advisor. You see, some years ago, I cannot recall exactly, there was somebody who entered the lift with the president of the US carrying arms. And the person in charge of the security had to resign because he has failed. How can the national security officer be coming out to cry that another person hacked or was involved into his life? Automatically, what is he advising? That's incompetence.
Now, in all of this, do you think that the government has prioritized our security enough to the extent that in this hoopla, the only thing we hear is, oh, it's all about 2027. Oh, the spokesperson to the president is saying it must be investigated. Ambassador designate Reno is saying it must be investigated. Civil society organizations, they are saying it must be investigated. All within the realm of politics, without actually looking at the security implication of being able to cut into the phone conversation of our national security advisor. What are our priorities in terms of governance? Is it to govern or to play politics?
Also correct something. Please, when we say civil society organizations, let's be specific, let's mention them. Because there are some persons who are actually agents of the government of the day, fronting themselves as civil society organizations. Those who are saying it must be investigated, not considering the implication of that on the entire country, saying it must be investigated. We should need to also...
Okay, Dr. Bright, I get your point. You know why I have to emphasize this is because in all the engagements I've seen outside there, both on traditional media and on social media, I have not seen anybody say, NSA, why was it Apple? Why was it easy for your phone conversation to be hacked into? Everybody seems to be talking about...
You heard it from me.
Okay.
You heard it from me. Why was it possible?
No, my direct question now is, in terms of priorities, our government, what do they prioritize? Is it politics or safeguarding the life of Nigerians through responsible and responsive governance? Which one are they concentrating
They are prioritizing their selfish interest in the name of politics at the expense of Nigerians. They are prioritizing their selfish interest. And if you do a real check on this, it is not also far from trying to guide some persons towards the 2027 election. So they are prioritizing their interest.
anything that threatens their interest, they want to use it. They want Nigerians to come and start talking about it. Otherwise, it's a shameful thing. This kind of statement is not even come out in the public. How would you, national security advisor, come out to say that your line was was hacked? How possible could that be? You understand? It's not something that within minutes or seconds when it was done, it will be noted. The message was withdrawn. Means the person has successfully. It's a shame. And the surprise is the truth. So for people to be calling for growth, they know what to do if actually it happens. Not need to stop Nigerians. It is their interest they are pursuing, and it is not good. Nigerians will stand against it.
All right. All right. Then. Now let's talk about another issue that has come up: the thallium sulfate allegation. Everybody also said that the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Mubarak, has imported 10 grams of thallium sulfate. And, read that up. Tell us, I'd like you to tell us more about thallium sulfate and how harmful. Though I read up somewhere that a teaspoon of it can kill up to 34 people. So, tell us more about thallium sulfate. Well, that is also being investigated from what we have gathered. We also know that the Office of the National Security Advisor has denied any of such importation of thallium sulfate into the country. But what are the dangers of having that if it's true?
The little I've heard about it is that it's a very toxic and dangerous chemicals. I'm not able to talk so much deep into it, but I know that it is toxic and very dangerous and can actually kill. And the danger of it is that it's a kind of gas that, when you perceive the smell of some kind of gas, let's say, maybe like the tear gas, for example, you could run away. But this kind of gas is something that you may not even know if it is around.
Because it's odorless and okay.
People don't know it and they die. See, when I don't, in terms of the allegation, this is another issue again. If everybody has information about it, and probably that's the reason why they are kind of saying.
Well, he's been asked to bring proof. He's been asked to bring proof by the DSS. They say, look, if you have proof of this procurement,
that is rubbish. Bring which proof? Which proof you want him to bring?
When the lawyers they will speak, as it is said, he who alleges should prove. So if you allege that so thing happened, you bring proof to it. You understand? If you allege that this is what actually transpired at that chemical.
On who rests the burden of proof, really? Is it the person who is alleging that chemicals are being brought in, or the person who's been accused of bringing the chemicals in? Who should have the burden of proof here?
The person who alleges, everybody is the one that says this is what you should bring the proof. That's just it. If you allege, you prove. You got it right.
Okay, are we looking at a national security threat issue here, or don't you think, or do you think we are at the risk of weaponizing there's a bit of personal vendetta there and intelligence being used for political shenanigans there?
No, you see, we are in a country where when elections are coming, people can do anything for politics. They don't care who are who. But even at that, the proper processes should be followed. Rather. I can't just wake up now and say because I feel this is what somebody is going to do, and I just come with an allegation. I should also come with proof. Otherwise, we'll end up having a wide close case. You just chasing after what did not actually happen. So we cannot say because El-Rufai has alleged, then Nigerians will be running letters, and at the end of the day, maybe it didn't actually happen. Just trying to create some. So if there is an allegation of such, let the proof be made. But of course, no doubt that some desperate politicians can actually do anything to get whatever thing they want in terms of politics. And for this 2027, I believe that rather I feel that many of such will be coming up, not even with the use of chemicals, they will be coming in various forms and various shades. So if they see anything, oh, this person is a
that's very scary. If you tell us that a lot of these will be coming up. And talking about 2027, let me ask you, because there seems to be, a lot of politics around all of this.
My concern is Mazin Nandekano is in their hand. That chemical, the world should hear it. Mazin Nandekano is in their hand. And people should watch out for it. So they don't use it on Nandekano.
Probable candidates in 2031. Now, how much longer do you think that we should keep this man as national security advisor? I mean, the president's appointee and all of that, but Nigerians also have a chance to say, well, this is what we want concerning our security and all of that. This man, his car was stolen. And the vehicle, I'm trying to reel out some compromises we have had in that office. His car was stolen at some point. A lot of people thought that it was a breach that shouldn't have happened, to the office of the National Security Advisor. Away from that, about 6 months ago or less than that, there was this allegation out there. Some people were caught, and they said, well, they were caught with arms in some parts of Kwara State. And they said, well, it was the NSA that armed us, and we are helping him, to fight killer headsmen and the bandits and all of that. National Security Advisor arming the Allah, the known terror organization, about the 7th in the world by international agencies classification and all of that. Now, we are hearing that his phone has been hacked. And instead of talking about why it was possible for his phone to be hacked, we are trying, to conduct a probe into all of that, the person that did all of that. How much longer do you think that the president should be telling that? Is it something that we should continue to have going back and forth? Oh, he's doing a lot and all of that. And I want you to factor in the fact that in all of his stay in office, insecurity has even doubled now. Bandits, terrorists, and all of that are doing a lot. How much longer should we keep him in that office?
Well, Mr. Chikoba, first, the person who appointed him knows what to do first on that. Then number two, it's also good that when we say National Security Advisor, please let also put his name and his picture. His name and his picture. The reason is that when we have his name and his picture, it will give Nigeria a very good impression about who this person is, and they can track him back. If my memory is right, the NSA is who? New Rubabia. He was formerly EFCC person. In his time as EFCC, how? Has he not contested before? Had the ambition to contest as president? So you can also trace his antecedents. So, see, if you are asking me to say how long should we keep him in office, but the fact that phone was tapped into and you're able to drop into his conversation is enough for him to resign. So if you say for how long, yesterday.
All right. So El Rufai and Ribadu were on the same side at some point. So now that this allegation has come up, should we be concerned about details or the timing? What do you think about it?
You see, that's why I said that it's a game of interest. These two persons, they've always been together. If
that is why you must be serious with any information that comes from any one of them. They know each other.
They are two different persons. So that's why I said that let's be putting their names. If you say, oh, National Security Advisor, let Nigerians know. They can also trace his antecedent. So when he was EFCC chairman, whatever, at that point in time, these people were
their interests do not align now, should it be a problem to Nigerians? No, it should not be. The second security advisor, somebody starts into your life, you don't want to do. Why cry out? Why make us want to start talking about it? And I know fully well that if two of them are on the same page for 2027, this thing will not come up.
All right, but if such a grave allegation, shouldn't we be worried as Nigerians that such an allegation, I mean by former governors, can be put out on a public platform? Something that would definitely trigger fear and a bit of chaos. Shouldn't we be worried that discussions, things such as national insecurity and security, can just be reduced to somewhat some sort of political power play? Shouldn't we be worried as Nigerians that this is happening?
Ordinarily, we are worried because the definition of insecurity to us as the citizens is different from how these government officials are defining it. I saw one headline this morning talking about bandits being business and not terrorists. Where did they get their own definition from? We've had, in terms of
exactly, terrorists, they call them bandits.
They failed us times and times.
They define their own differently.
So for the likes of me, I should not be worried with any issue between El-Rufai and Rubadu. I shouldn't be worried about them. Because tomorrow, if they are aligned, they are on the same page, all these things will go. What I'm concerned about is this that has happened. What to secure Nigerians, not for their own personal interest as it is at the moment. They have failed Nigerians over and over in terms of security issues.
Dr. Bright, you said something. I just want to please hold that thought. You said something instructive. You said you shouldn't be worried about their fight. So you said you're not bothered about their fight. But don't you think that in elements, when some of these conversations, some of these so-called information leaks, don't you think there's while we might say they're allegations or rumors, don't you think there may be elements of truth that we should be worried about? Even though we know that there's a political tax fight going on, but don't you think we should be worried that there may be elements of truth that indeed this dangerous chemical might, actually be brought into the country?
It is truth. They brought a chemical. It's not a suspicion. It is true. They brought it.
Today, in time past, these people, they will fight themselves and they will come out in the open. The chemical in question, let them bring it out. Like I said, it is a chemical that is odorless. If it is dropped in this room, for example, I may inhale it, and that's the end. But the truth is that wherever they want to use the chemical, it will be like somebody who is throwing a stone into the market.
Oh.
He or she may not know who the stone will jump on top of. As they are filling the chemical, they also brought gas mask. So the truth of the matter is this: if they imported the chemicals, definitely there is an intention for them to have brought in the chemicals. They also know their plans.
Mazen Nandekano, that is what we are shouting.
We won't know who they are listening for. So there are some things that we may not.
International community should hear this. That chemical, they should bring it out.
To just give us unnecessary energy. They are brought in and I think they want to also use for themselves. Thank you very much, Dr. Bright.
You have heard it. The most concern of everybody is that chemical they brought in. And I want everybody watching this video, wherever you're watching from, anything you hear from these people is not a propaganda, not a blackmail. They know what they are doing. Nuhu Rubadu and El-Rufai, they are 5 and 6. They know what they do. They have been in this together. They have been in this road before. They have participated in extraordinary judicial killing. They have done so many mafian things. That is why El-Rufai is able to know that this chemical is in town, brought in by Nuhu Ribadu. And that could also go far to tell you that El-Rufai know more things that you and I do not know. Remember, this was his closest bosom friend. Every Biafran need to be very careful. More especially, this is why we are talking about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's life is in danger. We have no business leaving Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the hand of these idiots. These people are heartless and monsters. Why do they have to go and bring such a chemical weapon? Where do they want to use it? It cannot be against the bandit because we know they are not ready to take away the bandit. Not the terrorists. They are sympathizers to the terrorists. They give information to the terrorists. So this thing they brought in is not for these terrorists. They are going to use it for the innocent people. Who is that very person? The international community should pay attention to this revelation that's made by El-Rufai. It is not a blackmail. It is not a propaganda. It's not a lie. It is the truth. And we need to be very, every Biafra must be very careful. More especially those who are with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, taking care of Mazen Nnamdi Sokoto, should be very, very careful. Whenever you have any sign of anything, begin to shout immediately. If possible, begin to adapt the use of mask. Because these people are evil. These people are evil personified. They can do anything. They can do and undo. Why did they bring that chemical? What do they? The question is not did they bring it or not. They did. This revelation about by the El-Rufai, it is true. They brought in that chemical. Where they are going to use it is what we are yet to reveal. And we are going to be following them. We are going to be listening to them. We are going to be searching and following closely until we find out where they are going to use that. And while we are looking at them, while we are following closely, every Biafra must be very, very careful. We must be very, very careful. Those who are taking care of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto must be extraordinarily careful. This is a very dangerous time. You see, sometimes Chukwu Okike Biama have the way of revealing things. Chukwu Okike can make them say things they don't intend to say. Chukwu Okike can put confusion among them. They'll be fighting each other. And the process of fighting each other, they'll be revealing secrets that are hidden, things that they're not supposed to say. They will say it to our ears. So every information is very, very important. Every information is very important. Do not ignore anything. Don't ignore any information. More especially, anything that El-Rufai says, if you play with it at your own risk. This is one of the people who is pushing the Islamization agenda. In fact, they were the people that started it. El-Rufai was one of those who started the Islamization agenda, and they will do everything humanly possible to push that agenda forward. So, everyone should be very, very careful. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, people should continue to pay attention to every single information that comes out. Follow it to the least, follow it to the lowest. Follow it to the least you can. Follow it to the least you can. Don't take anything for granted, because that is the only way Chukwu Okike does his miracle. You think he will send angel from heaven to come and tell you this? No. No. The way Chukwu Okike reveals information is by this means, by bringing information to your doorstep, even when you are not paying attention, through the people that are involved. He can put confusion among them. They will be fighting each other. And while they are fighting each other, they will be exposing things that they are not supposed to expose. So wherever you are, You must pay attention. Don't play games. Don't ignore any information. They are important. They are important. So before we go, let us look at some of the updates they have. Some of the update that came up. Let's see. This one says 3 suspects in murder of Nigeria hailing driver in South Africa remanded until February. Can you imagine? This one says no power supply for 10 years. Kaduna community threatened protest. For 10 good years, no power supply. No be 10 years, they don't have light. Photo identity of 26 years old policeman killed by illegal miners, allegedly led by Chinese national revealed. See? Illegal miners. Look at the person they killed. Spawn Chinese. Illegal miners, Chinese illegal miners. Sponsoring bodies. Immigration Service secretly allowed 5 Chinese nationals arrested, deported over illegal works. You see? That is Nigeria for you. Immigration Service secretly allowed 5 Chinese nationals arrested, deported over illegal work. They secretly deport them. That is Nigeria for you. Illegal miners that they caught, instead of to prosecute them, they secretly release them and deport them. Secretly, Nigeria. That's the country that will be good. Mad people everywhere. 21 years old apprentice arrested for killing master with pistol, injured wife in Anambra. Imagine. Chaos everywhere. Kogi governor aide Ali Bello should be probed over alleged evidence tampering in 10 billion fraud case. They won't try. When you hear their fraud, it's not a small one. Shaking fraud. When you hear the sound of fraud in Nigeria, if you know shake, if you know fear, you get hurt. US freezes assets of 8 Nigerians linked to Boko Haram and ISIS. Freeze the account. That is not enough. US should go ahead, end this contraption so that people can have peace to save life. End it. Lawyer warns DSS, cites Zaria killing, abduction under ex-Kaduna governor. Zaria killing, he was one. Today he's crying his own tongue. He's crying. AAC vowed to fight plot by Wike to rig FCT election against candidate not supporting Tinubu. That's it. That one not become law already. 16 years old boy alleged killed by neighbor after attacking his mother with machete in FCT. Chaos everywhere in Nigeria. Chaos. Police foil planned bandit attack on Oyo village, killed 2 suspects. Where are they? They don't show us. Only talk, but when bandits do their own, they will bring evidence. That is why we don't believe them. Obafemi Awolowo University distanced itself from banner linking to the Osun APC governorship candidate. Aluta continua. Human rights groups loud Showore on 55th birthday for resisting oppression. Falana Jubrin Ibrahim warns us troops in Nigeria threaten sovereignty. Sovereignty. These people are still speaking grammar. Nigeria has no sovereignty, has never had it before. We not have it, not today, not tomorrow. People like this Falana, they come and speak grammar to confuse ordinary people, but in the actual sense, they are happy in the system because it favors all of them. It makes them relevant. It makes them a big actor. It makes them popular. See? That is why we can't work with this kind of individuals. Nigerian troops repair terrorist ambush, recover 37 million cash. Other logistics in Northeast. 37 million naira cash recovered. You won't try. Look at it. That is it. That's how rich the terrorists are. They carry cash around. Christian Association of Nigeria kicks as Niger Delta as Niger State plan to introduce Hisbah. You see, even with the presence of the US, they are introducing the Sharia more. That's why I say bringing troop on the ground will not solve Nigerian problem. There is nothing that will solve Nigerian problem except disintegration, because these people will never back down on Sharia, forcing people against their will to do what they don't sign up to. You see, Christian Association of Nigeria, kicks, as Niger State plan to introduce Hisbah, Sharia police. They want to introduce Sharia police in Niger State, even in this critical time. I hope the United States is seeing it, that there is no other solution. Allow people to go their way. Simple. Jigawa Council Chairman Sani Yeyi silence critics as police arrest arraigned activists. Tear gas fired by EFCC during Air Rufai's arrival suffocate patients. US-based Nigerian activists rise trouble over Reno Omokri ambassadorial nomination. The president himself is a criminal. Why wouldn't he nominate a criminal? A drug baron nominated a liar, a fellow criminal, a fraudster, and you are complaining. You think he will listen to you? He will not listen to you. ADC lambast Minister Omahe for giving Tinubu false hope of victory in Southeast in 2027. Those are idiots. As if Southeast is his father. What have you done in the Southeast? Minister of Works, and he has not done any contract in the Southeast. You are promising Tinubu of winning Southeast. Nigerian Data Protection Commission to probe Temu over alleged breach of privacy. Police under IGP spend 239 million on geisha, milk, other food item for personnel on operation. Hey, Nigeria, this country. I salute una for fraud. Russia embassy fails to disclose citizen accused of circulating non-consensual videos. That is it. Mad people everywhere. Lawyer Adeyinju hails Sowore as symbol of hope for Nigeria, who yearn for justice, good governance. True. Inside Nigeria, you are a dreamer. Fourth suspect in murder. Fourth suspect in murder of Nigerian hail driver in South Africa surrendered to police. The fourth suspect in the murder case finally surrendered to police. Thank God he surrendered. Let's see how it's going to end. Terrorists kidnapped NSCDC officer in Ekiti. Released video showing victim brutally beaten. Nigeria. God have mercy. Breaking. Nigerian Defense Headquarters announces arrival of 100 U.S. military personnel. This one, another one. Another arrival, not be the first one, but this one is another arrival. I don't know why U.S. is putting boot on the ground. This will not solve the problem. But well, it is better to learn in a hard way. Since they want to learn in a hard way, they should go on. The United States want to learn in a hard way. You're going to learn. Since you don't want to listen to the advice we are giving on different forums, the solution is there for you. I don't know why you choose the hard way. It's up to you. It's up to you. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate everyone that has been with us on this very program. I thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for sharing. If you have not shared, share this program. I appreciate everyone that participated in the sit at home today. We saw that is massive response. Many Biafrans responded, and so many places we are locked down. So many places we are locked. There is no doubt that the Biafrans have made up their mind on what they want. Regardless the propaganda, regardless the blackmail, regardless the attack, the The Biafran people have already made up their mind what they want, and they are not going back. So wherever you are and you participated in this sit at home, I appreciate you. I appreciate your effort, and your effort will not be in vain. Whatever you have lost today, in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiyama, I bet you will be blessed for it. For every sacrifice you make for Biafra will never be in vain. Whatever you sacrifice in the cause of this struggle will never, ever be in vain. So everyone who has participated in one way or the other on this sit at home today, I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to strengthen all of us. Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to give us that favor that we are asking for. Never give up. It is your own will. You have the right to sit at home if you choose to. And if you choose not to sit at home, nobody will disturb you. It is your decision entirely. Mazen Nandekan has given his own order to the Liberation Army, and the Liberation Army have stated their stance. The ball is on the court of the ordinary people to make their decisions. And I thank Chukwu Okike that today they spoke and they sat at home. May Chukwu Okike bless everyone that participated in the sit at home today. I say, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of you who was part of that very sit at home. No matter what you do, no matter what happens, never give up. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And very soon, our voice will be heard, and heard very, very clear. No matter what you see, don't give up. Don't give up. I know the battle is hard. If I come here to tell you that it is easy, that would be a lie. The challenges are not easy. I understand it is not easy. Anybody that comes and tell you, oh, it is a walk in the park, it is a lie. And more especially for our brothers and sisters in Biafra land, I acknowledge your sacrifice. I acknowledge the risk. I understand the situation. It is not easy for those of us who are living abroad. We know how difficult it is for us here. We know the threat we face. We know the attacks we fight. But yet, we are standing strong. And you that is in the front line in Biafra land, we appreciate all your effort. No matter the blackmail, propaganda, attack, yet you are standing your ground, making sure that the legacy of Mazen Nandekan is not thrown out. You are making sure that the legacy of Mazen Samaraba is thrown out. No, it's not thrown out. I appreciate every one of you and every Biafran across the world. Remember, on the 5th of August, Mazen Samaraba will be in court. And he has personally asked every one of us to try as much as possible to come to Finland in solidarity with him on that very day. You can buy your ticket now. It will be very cheap. August is still far. Buy your ticket now. From now to August, you're going to get it very cheap so that you can go and be in solidarity with our Prime Minister. It is very important. Our president is going to boast his energy. It will also speak volume to the world and to the Finland authority. Mazen Samaraba has no case to answer. The world knows it. He has not committed any crime. The world knows it. But because of the situation we find ourselves, he is today paying a price. And we will never forget him. We must continue to pray for him, continue to pray for Mazen Nandekan, and continue to hope and wait that they are going to join us by the Spirit of God. I thank every one of you that have been with us on this program. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for support. If you have not shared, please share the program. If you have not yet liked, click like on the program and continue to pray for our people. One of the interesting thing and disturbing thing is that we must focus also, and those who are with Mazen Nandekan close to him, please continue to be very careful. Biafrans, be security conscious, because this chemical they brought in, we don't know whom they're going to use it on. We must be very careful. And I pray that Chukwu Okike will protect all of us. Have a wonderful night and see you tomorrow morning by the grace of Chukwu Okike. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Yeah. This is from Biafra's Got Talent. We are letting Biafrans know the reason why we should remember those who gave their lives for us, those who died that we may live.
You died to end my suffering. You died fighting for my freedom. Your blood is the seed of redemption. You are my inspiration.
The deed no wrong with them, military shots at them. 67 to 70, we remember them. 2016, 38 May, memory still lives in our mind till today. Wonder why they refuse to publicize the genocide. The world media turn blind eyes to our plight. It's time to arise, land of the rising sun. Let's rise one more time, let's rise.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Tell them I got that day, oh. Remember when me tell you say I got that day, oh. Yeah, I remember that one that called us a Bruce Mero. But the way you put like a papa nuku. But then when we go me tell you what I look pandi, what pandi Samiro, me tell you what I day. For me the plan and the rest of man, I tell you what I do. Me no back and forth, me tell them
Fallen heroes, I want to promise you something today. We must fight together, no retreat and no surrender. We must hold them down till the end of time. The most important thing is that we will restore Biafra. May your soul rest in peace.
I look up to the sky with tears in my eye. For other Biafrans and for freedom had to die. We will never forget you as the days go by. You are always in my heart, will never be apart. They fought for our freedom. They died for our freedom. They fought the Nigerian soldiers in the war front without food, without guns, for our freedom, for our life, for our own good, for our children. We love them, our heroes. We want them.
My heart bleeds when I saw them slain. Where will I be now if not then? They will remain indelible in my heart forever, 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 and ever, and ever, and ever.
We serve in your plantation, and the way you paid us back with your bloody starvation.
We blend in our history, that the death of my people is a mystery. No going back to get to a victory. I had a voice now call for vengeance. I never get bombed, I'ma blow like a vengeance.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes. Those who gave their life for us. Onitsha massacre, Iwata massacre, Aba massacre. We remember you. Alright.
Where will I be now if not you? You died at Mali, 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 Mali.
They were starved to death because of our freedom, and they paid the debt for our freedom. Flag high for those that died in the genocide, fighting for you and I. There is pain in our heart, we bleeding inside, tears in the eyes for our fallen heroes.
This is for my fallen heroes. Give them a motivation, people. It's like I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Cause to be a cast, I need to be a nurse. If we did not retire,
They paid the ultimate price. They died for the freedom of unborn child. We live for the legacy.
Yo, we will never forget our fallen heroes.
the flag in the air. Never be afraid. March on, cause we are more than conquerors.